Hello guys, welcome to Tommy's Corner. Today I'm going to be talking about something so serious. So fasten your seatbelts, let's go. I'm going to be sharing a step-by-step method of how to take a Christian approach to doing a mid-year review. um as we go through life, it's very possible that we get overwhelmed. Sometimes we feel stuck and you're asking yourself, like, how did I get here? I was so purpose driven before, but because of how much I am struggling right now, I'm just trying to live my life. And I've heard a lot of people saying, if all I achieve in this year is that, I stayed alive, then I have done much. I have done good. I totally agree, because life can actually be very tough. But as tough as it is, it's so important that we live our life according to how God has planned it for us. Now, if you've been feeling overwhelmed, this video is for you. I can remember when I was in junior secondary school, I actually posted a video of how I was a failure in secondary school. That was my junior secondary school. But my father had made a statement that triggered something in me. And as a young girl, some of these methods, some of these steps that I'm going to be sharing with you today were some of the things that I did then. So, the first and foremost thing that we need to do is to get into the preparatory phase. The first thing you need to do is set a date. And me, I have set the date for you. You have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday is a public holiday. So you have any of these 4 days to pick from. Now you can pick a time that best suits you. If it is 2 hours immediately you wake up from bed, or the 2 hours before you go to sleep, when you want to do this, when you know that you can have time to yourself, and then be able to be in a quiet environment, whatever works for you. If you want to pick an entire day to do this, lodge yourself in a hotel or put your phone on do not disturb, to have this time separated for yourself, to look at your life, to do a very holistic, objective review of what's going on now, and be able to re-strategize for the remaining 6 months that is coming. Then keep watching. Now, after you've set the dates and you set the time, the next thing for you to do is to create a quiet space. And after you've done that, you gather your materials. You get a pen, a journal, and a Bible. To conclude your preparatory phase, it's so important to ask yourself, why is this important to me? What do I want to achieve through this process? Because the book of Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, when there is no vision, the people perish. I strongly believe that if you go through these 5 steps diligently and objectively, you will see results. The first step is write a letter or say a prayer. This step enables you to start your entire process with God, pouring out all you have to say, everything that you're feeling. If you're very good with writing, I encourage you to write it down. It could be 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages. Just pour your heart down. If you are better with words, please speak to God. Tell him exactly how you're feeling. If you want to cry, please cry. You are in a quiet place. You are alone with Christ. So express yourself the way you want to. To start your letter, you can start with Dear God, like I always do. Or Heavenly Father, it's me, oh, I've come again. Anyhow you want to start your letter, write your letter. Tell him all the things that you are facing, all the things you're going through, and why you want to actually go through this process that was shared on Tommy's Corner. So that you move to your step 2, goal setting. In this step, you would identify what your goals are. What are those things that you want to achieve? There are two different categories of people watching this video. There are those that have set goals before, and there are those that have never set goals by writing them down. Any of these two categories where you fall, I got you. So if you have set your goals before, they could have been well spelled out or generic. In this process, you're going to divide your life, what you're going through, into different segments. For me, I would divide mine into like my career, your academics, your family life, your relationship, your finances, health. Divide it into different segments that you know things are going on in those segments for you now, or that you wish for things to go on, for things to happen for you in those segments. So you divide your life into these various segments. And then under each of these segments, you now begin to put what your goals are. And if you've never set a goal before, just write what your priorities are for that particular segment. Let me take an example. Your spiritual life. Instead of you saying, I want to get closer to God, like you have not been saying since you were 11 years old, oh Lord, I want to get closer to you. That's not how to set a goal. It has to be smart, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable. Please be realistic with your goal setting. It has to be relevant, and it has to be time bound. For this review, we're doing for the next for the goal setting. It was going to be for the 1 year 2024, the things you wanted to achieve in 2024. Please take your time to set these goals well. After you have done that, you move to step 3, and it is reflection. Sit back, ask yourself, look at those goals. What have I done well? What have I not done well? Why did I do this one well? How come this thing happened in January, in February, March, April, May? What stood out for me in these last 5 months? What did not happen? What disappointments did I face? What were some things that I did not know were going to happen, but they did, and they definitely affected my goals? They affected the way I looked at life. Reflect through it. Go down the memory lane of the last 5 months and write down as many as you can find, as you can remember. Reflect on your life. It might not even just be the last 5 years, it could be the last 1 year, it could be the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Ask yourself, what have I done well? What have I not done well? And then you move to step 4, evaluation. I love this step because it's the step where you are the most objective. And so before you go into being objective, the first thing to do when you get to the evaluation step is gratitude. Acknowledge your achievements, those ones that you did well. Praise yourself. Though if you don't praise yourself, nobody will praise you. Praise yourself. Mm? Thank God for those things that went well. This is the time where you can even dance, play music. Thank you, Jesus. Thank God for what those things that went well, and also thank Him for the ones that didn't. Identify those challenges, those things that you said you did not do well when you were in your reflection mode. Identify them as real issues, real challenges, and how they were a setback. And then begin to prayerfully find solutions to those challenges. If those goals are still things that are on the table, be prayerfully identify those challenges and set solutions for how those challenges can be solved. It might mean you changing the goal, not changing, maybe readjusting. It might mean you finding a new path. It might mean that this road is not leading there anymore. I need to jump on another train. Whatever that would mean for you, identify and most importantly, solve those challenges. Draw up a plan, find the solution to addressing those challenges you've had in the past. Now, based on this solution, that what takes us to the fifth plan. Draw up new adjusted realistic goals for the next 6 months. Okay, I said I was going to do this year, but because of one, two, three, I won't be able to go this large. I'm going to reduce it. Or because of how much information I've now gotten, I'm going to be expanding the goal to cover other things that I did not plan for in January. Life is not static, life is dynamic. Now, when you have identified these new challenges based on the segments that we have identified in the beginning, so for finances, you would say, this was what I wanted before I faced this challenge. This is what I want now. You do that for all the segments. And then what you want now, your new goal, you now pick them all together and draw up an action plan for the next 6 months. Now, in your action plan, you can do it monthly or weekly, depending on how detailed you want it to be. Stating specifically all the things that you want to achieve and how you're going to achieve them, and the months when you should have achieved them. Now, when you have done this, you can write it down, and then you most importantly have to commit it to God. You have to commit it to God. The book of Proverbs 16:3 says, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. It's so important that you carry all this work, this task that is before you for the next 6 months, and you commit it unto the Lord, so that your thoughts, these ideas, these goals will be established. Now, even though you have drawn out this action plan, things can still change. This is the last step. Establish accountability. To be more realistic, sometimes I use Google Calendar for things that I don't want other people to know. But if you have that friend or a good support system that can keep you in check of these goals that you have written down, this is the place to send them a message saying, 1, 2, 3, I would like to achieve before August. Can you keep a track on me and just help me navigate through this? The main reason why we are doing this is to have a clearer picture of what the future holds for us, to learn from our past and take those lessons learned to influence our future, so that we're not making the same mistake over and over again, and that we can actually record progress in 2024. I do hope that with these 5 holistic steps that I've shared with you today, that by the time we come back in December doing an end of year review, you actually have good results to show for it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do well to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, practice these steps. And tell me in the comment section, maybe by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or even next week, depending on when you've gotten time to do this, how helpful it has helped you to clear your head and be more focused for what's coming. Till we meet again, I love you with the love of Christ. Hey, oh boy, what is it? Haven't you done enough? I tell you to change this, you not change it. It's not that you want to change it. They don't need to change it again about the car. What I mean.